record. Hey, welcome to For the Story, the only podcast asking the real questions. Are DJ Khaled and Fred Durst the same person? More at 8. My name's Avery.
And I'm Ash. This week we watched Mary-Kate and Ashley, Passport to Paris.
Bam! They're going to Paris. You're going with them.
Oh, you better believe there are boys there, because that's what every Mary-Kate and Ashley movie is about, right?
Pretty inappropriate.
Yeah.
Now, we're For the Story. We watch movies.
Like Mary-Kate and Ashley, Passport to Paris, the film we watched this week.
No. But we did watch Hellraiser. Basically the same film.
Yeah. As much gore, if not a little less, honestly.
Exactly. No, we decided we were going to do 2 episodes this week, and for no reason at all, I decided we were going to watch Hellraiser, because I kind of had a feeling Ash wasn't going to like it, and apparently instead of...
And then you get mad at me when you're like, oh, I'm sorry you didn't like it, sorry you're wrong,
sorry
blah,
you
blah, blah.
Feel that way, dude, about this masterpiece.
Don't you fucking take my feelings into account, you absolute piece of garbage.
No, I totally understand. Honestly, I really do understand why you weren't a fan of this movie. I just kind of wanted to talk about it.
Why'd you put all that accent on you? I understand why you wouldn't like it. Your people. Whoa, Avery.
Thing. Oh my God.
It's okay. Avery can say that. He knows me, and I'm Jewish.
You heard it here, folks. More at 8.
All right.
Yeah. So we watched Hellraiser.
Yep.
It's not Halloween yet, but it's Halloween in July, as we like to call it here For the Story.
Honestly, I thought it was going to be a movie about like a gang of like scooter riding dudes, but
because they're raising hell.
Well, no,
Hellraiser.
Like, yeah, like razor scooters. Anyone? Just like
Hellraiser.
Fucking 12-year-olds.
Like better movie.
12-year-olds with like shitty haircuts, but they're also in motorcycle jackets on razor scooters, and like, watch, I could do a bunny hop, dude.
From the directors of Axel and Barely Lethal, Hellraiser.
We might be able to. Oh no, it's like about a teenager who finds like a demon bike, or a demon scooter. He like works with he works with Ghost Rider.
Hellraiser and Ghost Rider.
Yo,
God.
I'd buy that comic.
Yeah, that's when the MCU finally just runs out of ideas, right?
Or is that the best idea?
Like the absolute linchpin in the entire MCU for like Phase 8.
Yeah, it's like Michael Chiklis as
Ghost Rider in Hellraiser. Yeah, I'd watch that movie
with the thing, of course. Michael Chiklis, the only true thing.
Did I tell you about my new character, Ash?
You did, but why don't you tell our lovely people?
Yeah, so my new character is a guy who doesn't realize that Michael Chiklis in reality doesn't look like the Thing. So he just honestly believes that Michael Chiklis is covered in like latex rocks.
he's like very concerned about his health, and like
he's like, man, has he been okay? Like, why is nobody talking about this? It's been like 15 years since Fantastic Four came out.
Yeah.
He wasn't looking good back then. Can't imagine he's doing much better now.
Yeah, I mean the first 3 Fantastics were not great either.
Yeah, what happened to Fantastics 1 through 3? That's like whatever happened to Blinks 1 through 181.
What happened to the sum before 41?
Yeah, sum 40. Yeah, just failed projects.
Sum 41.
So DJ Khaled, Fred Durst, the guy from Smash Mouth, and the guy from Insane Clown Posse confirmed are the same person.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Did you guys know that?
I mean,
did you guys know that Gnarls Barkley and CeeLo Green are the same person?
No. And Michael Clark Duncan and Ving Rhames.
I have a theory that Donald Glover and Childish Gambino are like twins, or maybe even the same person.
Yeah. Have you noticed that they both have the same girlfriend?
but slightly different facial hair.
Yeah.
I'm getting down to the bottom of it. Whoa, what an asshole.
To be fair, I cut him off. It was...
The only podcast that records while Ash is driving in LA traffic.
God. That's like all the conversations I had with my ex was just like, yeah, no, I'm still stuck in traffic. Just on the phone. Nightmare.
Do you have light road rage?
I have. Okay. Have you heard of there's defensive and offensive drivers?
Yeah.
I'm like a supportive driver where I just I yell like, no, you can, you can do it. Get in front of me. Just get in front of me.
You can do it. I know you want to. That's excellent.
Like a passive aggressive driver. Today I didn't let someone over because they tried to like hop over into the side lane and like come in, and I was just like, no.
Nah, man. Dude, I don't let anybody in.
No.
And I don't care. I will look at people
emotionally or otherwise in the car or
or on the road or
in my therapist's office.
Exactly.
No,
really, I'm holding my therapist hostage.
Your Honor. No, I was driving, like, this was a while ago, but some guy, like, pulled up his, like, shitty Camaro behind me.
Fuck yeah.
So close, and, like, it was, like, a frontage road to get onto the freeway, and no one else was there. So I just slowed down to 10 miles an hour.
Oh, my God, dude.
I'm like, dude, he drove up behind me. I was driving maybe 5 to 10 miles above the speed limit and started honking. And I'm like, so all right, I'm slowing down and we're going 10. And once we got on the freeway, I sped up. He pulls around me. I give him, because I don't like to flip people off. I like to give him like the tiny dick fingers and just be like, yeah, that's right. It's like way more. It's like way more demeaning. And then I turn my head and it's a woman.
Oh, wow.
I gave her the tiny dick fingers.
Hell yeah. Because she was acting like she had a tiny dick.
Yeah, but did I accidentally go, hey, very tight vagina lady? These are the questions your average podcast host wouldn't ask.
More at 8. So normally... on a regular episode, obviously this is a little bit of a bonus episode for us here. We would talk about some movies that we saw during the week, or any other things that we saw that we like to, bring up that aren't the main focus of the episode. That's like how we like to get it out of our system, because I watch terrible movies, and Ash watches basketball. So we talk about that.
Okay, to be fair, the season's almost over. It's almost off. Then I'm just going to be talking draft prospects. You heard about Taco Fall?
What?
There's a guy named Taco Fall.
Everyone's tacoing about him.
About him, yeah.
Ah, man, I'm sorry.
Taco Fall is also what happens when you have slippery fingers from too much grease and try and pick up your taco.
Bam. There it goes. Right on the floor. But there we go. I'll edit the first one out.
Oh, okay.
Whoa!
Now we're just full shock jocks. It's finally happened.
So just wait until they hear the drop that I have coming up for the breakdown. Anyway, so Ash, we're gonna start this off nice and smooth. What kind of movies have you watched this week? Anything interesting?
I have one movie and then just one life recommendation for everyone. I watched When We First Met, which is a terrible movie.
I've never heard of that one.
It's with Adam Devine from Workaholics.
Oh.
And he likes a girl, and because of a magical photo booth, he goes back in time and could repeat a night to try and win her back in what is a very weird, bad movie.
Ew, dude, that sounds like some incel shit, doesn't it?
Like a little bit. But yeah. I deserve this girl.
Yeah.
I like her more than anyone else.
Instead of moving on, he alters time. It's just what a selfish dick.
Yeah, but that's almost socially productive. He discovered time travel. That's right. Yeah. He's just not killing Hitler.
He's doing selfish things.
He's doing the butterfly effect, but he's not.
He deserves that girl, man. She's wrong.
Her feelings are illegitimate.
Yeah, her feelings are wrong. It's so stupid. Like I get where they're going with that. That just seems like that's like uncomfortable.
It's like a romantic movie for like people who married like the person that used to stalk them. Like, yeah, you kept coming to my house at night, and then eventually you wore me down.
You wore me down. It's like, yeah, don't just be like with someone that it feels right. Just give up and let them take over your life.
Oh, I'm not going to be alone forever. I'm going to settle.
I found my way out.
And then my life tip. Don't be like this guy at my gym. I am benching. I'm benching. I get up and immediately some dude is like inches from my fucking face. And he just goes, Whoa. Hey man, if you change the way your feet are stanced from outwards to straight, you'll do a lot better. I like sassily take out my earbud and I just go, did I fucking ask you, dude? And he starts to fucking try and argue with me. Don't be like that guy.
Man.
Oh, and my favorite part, he went, I'm a trainer, man. Don't worry. Like, I know what I'm talking about. I'm like, everyone else in LA, dude. Yeah, right. Everyone in LA is a fucking trainer. Get the fuck out of here. I'm bigger than you.
Dude, he wanted to be your friend and didn't know how to approach it. You know what I mean? So he's just like, I'll prove how cool I am by giving this guy advice.
Yeah. It's not like when I do it. When I will pick out the largest guy in the gym and I will be like, hey man, if you want to get a little stronger like me, here are a couple tips. And then I'll give him some like ridiculous tips. And then they're always like, oh my God, I love this little human. Let me crush skull.
Let me pick you up, little man.
Let me crush skull with bare hand. Like,
you know how you get over 600-pound deadlift? Shave your butthole. Works.
It's got me over 400, so we're good.
More aerodynamic for that hip thrust.
Oh yeah, you gotta tuck those glutes, dude.
You gotta drive those hips. That's how you nail the deadlift.
You're not wrong. You're making a joke, but you are correct.
So
about the butthole part, I just want to.
So, I didn't see anything worth talking about this week, aside from Hellraiser.
I mean, most weeks you're telling me like, yeah, this is a movie, don't see it.
What? So. No, I usually recommend pretty much everything I bring up. It's like, yeah, watch it, why not? Right? And now I'm doubting myself.
Yeah.
Do you see what you've done?
Avery, roll the clip. It's funny because you're the one who would have to find it and roll the clip.
Yeah. Like, no, the other Avery who does the editing. He's not here right now. Yeah. He's out of the office. No, I do. I want to talk about a trailer that I saw when we went to go see Brightburn. I think we probably both saw it, but a trailer for a movie called The Dead Don't Die. It comes out next week, starring Adam Driver, Bill Murray, Tilda Swinton, and Selena Gomez. Ever heard of her?
Should I do the thing where I dox her, or were we joking about me doing that?
Let's not dox Selena Gomez. Let's not do that.
I know where she lives. In a totally for a normal reason that isn't creepy.
I don't know. That doesn't sound convincing. No, honestly, he did tell me the reason why, and it's not creepy. It's just totally happenstance.
I just collect human hair. It's not like a fetish.
It's not a big deal.
I just hump it like sometimes.
It's not a big deal, okay? He just collects human hair. All right? Christ. People nowadays.
Why are the cops always fucking interviewing me about it?
Podcast listeners nowadays.
If any cops listen, stop.
Because we're about to dox Selena Gomez.
Oh, yeah, that's why.
Yes.
The human hair bit.
So back on track.
Okay.
So we're getting off track. The Dead Don't Die. It looks like a lot of fun. There's zombies and I don't know. I thought it was, when I saw the trailer, I was like, this has got to be Zombieland too, right? And no, it's just Zombieland again.
Yeah.
with Bill Murray.
Zombielander.
Yeah, Zombielander. Just like Hellraiser Deader is the title of a Hellraiser movie in the Hellraiser cinematic universe.
Yo, hear me out. Zombielander is Zoolander, but with zombies.
Oh my God, that sounds excellent. Why wasn't Zoolander 2 just that?
Yeah, it's like him doing Blue Steel, but like his jaw kind of falls off while he's doing it. He's like holding it on. Great. I love it.
Zomblander. Yeah, I would see that. That sounds excellent.
Yeah.
Great. No, Dead Don't Die. I want to see it.
It looks like, cause how many, like, it's been like, what, 47 years since Zombieland 1, and they said they're doing a Zombieland 2? Like,
it's so weird. It feels like, I think it came out in like 2011, maybe 2010. It's been a while.
Movie, but
it was 2008.
No, I said it feels like.
It might have been. You might be
slowly
right.
typing with one finger. 2009. I was close.
Wow, we were both close. Nice.
I mean,
so literally 10 years. Who are they pulling in for the sequel?
I don't know. Still Jesse Eisenberg and
know.
Still Woody Harrelson.
Screenplay director.
Oh yeah, it's in post production right now.
Yeah, Emma Stone. They are getting Woody Harrelson, Jesse Eisenberg,
and then they like have older teenager.
Yeah. Oh, older teenage girl.
Yeah. Oh, Rosario Dawson's going to be in it. I love her.
Right.
Dan Aykroyd's going to be in it. So they're just slowly going through all the Ghostbusters.
Yeah, right.
Wait, was Bill Murray in Ghostbusters?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm just making sure. I haven't seen Ghostbusters in quite some time.
Yeah. Ghostbusters is a fun movie. It's not like, I mean, it's good, but I don't think it's ever anything we would review on here. It's like it's one of those ones that we'll just end up enjoying it too much.
I'm very Thomas Middleditch, because he's in everything now.
Who? Thomas?
He was like the Nebuchadnezzar guy from Godzilla King of Monsters.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, with the beard. But it's funny because the clip that they have up for Zombieland 2 Devil Tap is Adam Driver with the baseball bat. I'm like, that's not from this movie.
Wait, for real? That's fucking awesome.
It's the wrong movie.
It's like, holy shit, that's hilarious. It's because it's such a similar concept. Like, it's like the same movie.
Yeah.
But, well, I know. Wow, dude. I'm looking at the poster for Zombieland Double Tap, they're calling it, and it looks exactly the same as the first one.
Yeah, it's just like the one girl's older.
Yeah,
and wearing the same outfit.
Only change. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Shoot me.
That sounds like it's gonna be pretty bad. That's unfortunate. The first one's good. The first one's a cute movie. Whatever. Why not?
Yeah, it's like got that indie quirkiness to it.
Yeah, it was like kind of like interesting. I like the idea of like horror comedies more than just about anything else. So it's like, I think that they're very fun. And it kind of like hit that niche where it was like funny, but it's also one of those movies that, because it's a comedy and you've already heard the jokes once, revisiting it is way boring.
I feel like after a certain amount of time it could be good again. I don't know. I was just happy that it wasn't like a Will Ferrell type comedy. You know what I mean? Like no diss to Will Ferrell, but there wasn't any. It wasn't an Adam Sandler zombie movie where he was like, "Oh my god, it's the zombies."
Yeah, because it could have been gone that way, right? And also, Will Ferrell movies have kind of gone in that direction. I don't know. Did you see the Sherlock Holmes one that came out?
No, Avery. I have self-respect.
Yeah, don't. It just it's like, I don't know. It's just comedy movies nowadays are just so lackluster. It's just like almost embarrassing. But all right, we actually watched Hellraiser, and I think we should probably start. Ash, tell me some expectations you had for this movie. Or actually, first, you have some budget breakdown stuff, don't you?
Cue the music.
Right
data
now.
This is the Budget Breakdown.
Welcome to the Budget Breakdown.
Yay! Hellraiser. We're going to talk about its whole run. It cost about $1 million, somewhere between $900,000 and $1 million.
Wow.
Opening weekend, it put out $4 million.
Wow.
It was only really released theatrically, domestically, and so it was released in 1,104 theaters and had a domestic total lifetime gross of $14.6 million.
Wow, that's small time. That's a really small movie, huh?
But, dodeca or quadrodeca Yeah, 14 times. Yeah.
Even that being said, still not a huge budget, not a huge turnout, but still made money. Still clearly was a success.
Yeah, I mean, it still made its way for the year 1987 to the 32nd highest gross for R-rated movie in 1987. Care to venture some guesses? Because there are some incredible movies that came out in 1987 that you would probably know.
Dude, I don't have the faintest idea. I can't even think. Aliens came out. That was rated R. That was 1987. Is that on? That has to be on the list.
Aliens did not come out in 1987.
What the fuck? Was it 86 then? It was right around there.
Mm-hmm.
It was 86? Okay. Fuck. I don't know. Predator, maybe? That might have been 82.
Yes, Predator came in at number 8.
Awesome.
Let me know and I'll start giving you some hinties.
87. I'm trying to think of any other...
probably...
Evil Dead 2, Dead by Dawn.
Evil Dead 2 Dead by Dawn did not... It was 46th. It did not make it higher than Hellraiser.
Okay.
Let me give you some hints. Who's that larger gentleman that was in, like... Who's the guy who did the, like, Airplane?
Who directed it or was in it?
Directed it.
I don't know. Let's find out.
Wrote it?
Airplane. Directors David Zucker, Jim Abrams, Jerry Zucker.
It's kind of in that same vein.
Do you mean Chris Farley?
No, John Candy.
Oh, okay, yeah, totally. That's me Googling him. Yes, I definitely know who this guy is. Okay, all right. Cool, yeah.
One of his movies came out that year and placed itself at number 13, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
I see it. Oh, that was also Steve Martin, huh?
Yeah.
Cool, all
right. Guy gets killed by Red Foreman, then kills Red Foreman.
Oh my God, RoboCop.
Mm-hmm. This Vietnam War movie is really great for the first 30 minutes, then okay.
Is it Red Dawn?
It's Full Metal Jacket.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's just like all the basic training stuff is the fun part of that movie, and then it drops off.
Up till the guy kills himself brutally.
Yeah, which is awesome. And then it's like, I feel like they got up through there and they were like, okay, now what do we do with this movie? Because it's like two different movies. It's crazy.
It is nuts. Eddie Murphy and Chris Rock.
Oh my goodness.
It's the second movie in this series of a lot of movies. And it takes place
I feel like I know it. Is it a police academy?
My City. It's hot.
Is it Police Academy 2?
You're just as hot.
I honestly
takes place in LA.
You got me. Hit me.
Beverly Hills Cop 2.
Oh, it's like the same as Police Academy.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. All right, cool.
The other ones would be like Fatal Attraction, Good Morning Vietnam, Stakeout, Lethal Weapon, The Witches of Eastwick.
Lethal Weapon.
Eddie Murphy's Raw, which I didn't know had a theatrical release.
Yeah, interesting. I've never... Really? That's kind of cool. Go figure.
And then the other one I know on this list is Wall Street. Oh, and Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors. That's the one where they get superpowers because they're in their dreams, and it's amazing.
And that's the one with the hair metal song that's like, they're the Dream Warriors. Yeah, that one. Have you heard that song? We play it at the bar all the time.
Oh, that is my nightmare.
It's your dream because you're a dream warrior, Ash.
No, it's my nightmare on Elm Street.
You're the villain then. I just want you to know that.
A lot of people have told me that the general quality of my skin is Freddy Krueger-like. I don't know what they mean by that, though.
Latex and a mask.
And pizza ass.
Yeah, they're telling you that you don't let anybody in through your mask, Ash. They want you to reach out a little more.
It's because of one of those Hannibal Lecter masks. I ate his kidneys with some fava beans. God, such a gross noise. All right, well, that's our budget breakdown. It's not too interesting.
No, that is interesting. 87 was a good year. I could have sworn that Aliens was 87. I guess it was 86. Go figure. Well, you live and you learn. So
it's not
Ash,
anything.
Now that we've learned a little bit about the budget positioning of this movie, what are we looking at for some expectations on your end? I'm very curious.
Well, Avery, I've heard of Hellraiser before seeing the film. Thank you. No, but I expected something very different. I've known about the character design of Pinhead.
Which probably just remember hearing about it, you know?
Yeah, I've seen pictures of Pinhead before in listicles about slasher villains.
Right. Not really a slasher, but close enough. It has the idea. It came out around the same time, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a slasher, but also not. I don't know. It's weird. But I expected a very different movie because it's kind of got this following and mystique to it that.
This movie's very dream-like. I think that's probably why it sticks in people's minds.
Dream warriors.
Exactly. I wonder how much of that song we can put in the podcast without getting sued.
7 seconds.
Yeah, it's probably just them saying "dream," and then that's it.
And then end the podcast with "warrior."
Oh, excellent. We'll still get sued, but worth it.
Warriors is actually trademarked by the Navy.
Oh my god. So as far as my expectations go,
yes, please.
I've seen this movie before. It had been a while. I watched this the first time I watched this. Obviously, I had heard of Pinhead, the character Pinhead. I've heard of the movie. I remember vividly seeing covers for the 8th and 9th movie down the line when they start to really suck ass at Blockbuster when I was growing up, and you would see it in the hard thing. It'd be like, whoa, that's the spookiest movie ever. Look how creepy that guy is. So I vividly remember that kind of thing. But I didn't actually watch this movie until maybe 2013, 2014. And I remember really enjoying it, but I don't think I knew movies as well. I didn't have a review podcast at the time. I've learned a lot about them since.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to be an expert in anything, just start a podcast on it. It's a credential and makes you smarter than other people.
Just start fucking talking about shit for an hour several times a week. And you'll be surprised how much you learn about movies forcing yourself to watch terrible ones.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I literally before we started doing this, don't think I watched any movies ever.
Yeah, it's really interesting how now I watch movies for the podcast, but it's cool because it's a structured way to talk about them. So I kind of enjoy that. But.
And even that independent exploratory element of I'll be sometimes I'm free this Sunday afternoon. I should just watch a podcast I want to talk about.
Yeah, exactly.
For our talk about movie segment.
Yeah. So Hellraiser. I didn't know if I was going to enjoy it again on a second watch, and I kind of did. I see a little bit more holes in it here and there. Its self-contained nature is really, really apparent, especially on a rewatch. But Ash, you said you noticed that too, didn't you? It was very small scale.
Very small.
Yeah, clearly they had a limited budget. The entire movie basically takes place in one house. There's
and a creepy subway entrance.
Yeah, and there's a hospital that's probably not even a hospital. It's probably just
it's a room.
It's just a room that they made look like a hospital.
There's a scene where she's knocking on the door come on, let me out, and you just hear the doctor on the other side going, there's nothing on the other side of this door.
You can't, the camera's rolling, you can't come out. They're gonna see that this is actually just my grandmother's house. So, yeah. I out the gate, now that we're officially in pros, I'm going to say that one thing that always struck me about this movie, and I think this is what it was trying to get across, honestly, more than anything else. It was supposed to be kind of dreamlike, kind of body horror, and it has fun gore. Not silly gore, but uncomfortable gore. That's fun for me because I'm terrible
Mm-hmm.
I just think gore, when it's done effectively and it makes me feel squeamish, even though this movie's 40 years old, I think that's successful. And I think that's one thing that sticks with me. There's specific examples. Ash, I had you watch the non-theatrical release because, to my understanding at least, there was a scene that was cut from the final theatrical run because it was too goddamn disgusting, and it is the scene that you guessed. I remember texting you, and I was like, "Can you pick it out? Like, do you know which scene was the one that got cut?"
Well, it really helps when there are like 3 graphic scenes in the movie.
That's true. You really kind of just had to throw a dart at a board, but
I literally sent you the 3 gory scenes, and you're like, "You're right. It was the man appearing out of the ground."
Yeah. So basically, what happens is in this movie, there's a character. His name is Frank. He's into really sadistic pleasures, right? And he finds this puzzle box. It's called. So it's just like this cube. It's about like 4 inches tall or whatever.
Which he seems to get in like an Arabian market from the new Aladdin movie, but then also is in like upstate New York or maybe Pennsylvania.
So he brings the puzzle box back to the States and lives in this dingy, disgusting house all alone, and
just
engages
stained sheets.
Yeah, it's so gross, and he just engages in these sadistic, horrible pleasures at the behest of demons called the Cenobites, and they torture him so thoroughly that he is ripped to pieces and is ingrained in the floorboards of this disgusting, dingy house. There's just nothing left. He's been vaporized, and he's part of the walls now. And then so basically what happens is his family moves into the house because like the mother dies, and they're like, oh god, he was staying here. There's like a part where they see like his disgusting like bed sheets and stuff just on the ground, and somebody gets cut and drops of blood drip onto the floorboards. Yeah, it's the dad character. Drops onto the floorboards, and he is resurrected, Frank, with all his sadistic pleasures and murderous behaviors. And the scene's probably like, it's pretty long. It's like probably like
felt like 3 years.
Yeah, it was very long. But it's basically like you see like all the parts of this guy, like all this goopy shit, just like form back together to form a man. And it's disgusting. It's like
really
vile.
Incredible what you can do with pipe cleaners.
Yeah, there was definitely some pipe cleaners involved there.
That's like all I could see is I'm like, yeah, I wonder how they do the goop, but are those pipe cleaners?
Like they totally probably were. That or like wire of some kind. I think I know what you're talking about because at the beginning it's supposed to be like the brain stem. It's got these 2 little things bent out, and it really looks like pipe cleaners.
It kind of looked like they did like a stop motion-y thing with it too, which I thought was decent.
Yeah, I did like the notion that they did this all stop motion. I love and hate the fact that people probably worked for this scene for like days. It probably took them so long to make this, and then as they were bringing it up to like the film advisory board or whatever, they were probably like, you can't put this in theaters. Like, this is disgusting. This is vile. You can't do this. And they were probably like, oh man. Like, think about how long they worked on that just to get turned down at the last second.
Yeah.
So kind of unfortunate. I'm glad that they were able to, their dreams came true and they were able to like release it. But
Dream Warriors.
So what else do you have for this, Ash? There's got to be good stuff that you liked. There has to be.
Yeah. One would believe that.
Don't.
Let me think. Shit. I found some kind of weird happiness in I don't know.
You're really struggling that hard?
Yeah, I just didn't enjoy myself. Yeah. Like, yeah, most movies, Avery.
I get it.
It kind of had this like Godzilla King of Monsters draggingness to like the dialogue And
yeah,
there was like sometimes where like there was one scene where the daughter walked up the stairs where they took out the music, which it felt like they had going the entire time, regardless of tonality of the scene. And I was like, oh, this is effective. But then I'm like, oh, no, she just like walks up this staircase for a long time, huh? Yeah, okay. It felt very padded for time as a whole. Because this is a short fucking movie, which I guess is my big pro, is I didn't have to spend a long time watching it.
Yeah, I guess that's true. How long is this movie?
An hour 34.
Oh, so it's like, that's a good length. That's
yeah, but
normal. That's
like when we compare that to like I'm not talking about how it looks. Don't give me the it's 2019, not 1987 thing. But Brightburn, I felt like I got more content in the hour 30 runtime.
In that amount of time. Okay.
It's like a YouTube video where you're like, they're gonna like, oh, we're gonna review like this thing that you really like, and we're gonna talk all about all the secrets about it. But the first 3 minutes are me talking about my personal projects. That's kind of what I like. That kind of cock tease where it's like, I kind of like where this is going, and oh no, it's gone completely flat because we're having a dinner scene where like a guy's flipping a cigarette in his mouth. Like, great.
Yeah.
And like diving into like weird sexual tension that has no payoff.
Yeah. There was a lot of like odd sexual undertones to a lot of like the torture stuff.
Overtones. Sexual overtones.
Yeah, it was all like very like weird sexual like stuff going on, especially with like the torture from the Cenobites, like the demon creatures who appear and torture you for pleasure. It's just like very odd, and you could tell that like maybe they wanted to push that further, but they also wanted it to like appeal to a mass audience in some way. It struck me as very strange. I kind of like that they like went to that like dangerous point, to be honest, because it's like if you went all the way, you're gonna get accused of making like a snuff pornography film. But they really alluded to a lot of it rather than straight up show you some horrible shit. Gore is horrible, but it's not as bad as what it could have been.
Yeah. I mean, like if I compare this to like a movie that is true smut, like Human Centipede.
Oh, that's horrible.
Honestly, this more content.
Like Human that's the thing. Centipede has more content than Hellraiser. No way, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Much better. I think that they do a way better job at creating tension. I think they do a way better. Like this movie was very much like a weird congruence of fantasy, horror, and gore. And I don't because the movie if you'll recall that I thought it was similar to was fucking Labyrinth.
You said that to me and it like clicked immediately. I was like, yeah, but Labyrinth also comes across like kind of a fever dream. Like it looks like it's almost real, but like it's just not. It's just like things just don't really quite fit into reality. It is a lot like Labyrinth.
Okay, but what if Pinhead was David Bowie?
Wouldn't that be amazing? That would be so fabulous.
That would just like
everything would go full circle. That would have been perfect. He actually would have been a good choice. That would have been cool if he was one of the Cenobites.
What's the name of the lead girl in lead character in?
Kirsty is her name. Oh, you mean in Labyrinth?
Yeah.
Jennifer Connelly. That's the actress.
Yeah. What was her name? Because the way that he says her name.
Oh my god, I can't remember.
Sexy.
I can't remember. I honestly don't know. I don't really want to look it all up. It's not coming up just like first thing. But yeah, I know what you mean. Labyrinth is a weird movie. What year did that come out? Because I bet you it's
86.
It's year before. The year before. I bet you they tried to ride with
Sarah.
Yeah, is it Sarah?
Sarah.
Yeah, Labyrinth is so weirdly similar to this movie. That is
except like that, like that's the thing. I think that probably also because like Labyrinth had like the same aesthetic, but also production budget.
Yeah, it had a lot more of a production budget. Yeah,
because like we've talked about how the gore doesn't do something for me.
Yeah. I just think it's fun. I like the absurdity of gore. I like that it's always like, if there's any gore at all, it's almost always taken to the absolute extreme. Like there's no like tasteful amount of gore. It's so ridiculous and kitsch. Like if you're gonna put gore in your movie, generally it's over the top, you know. And I that nature just makes me so happy. I like things that are just absurd, just to be absurd.
Okay, I was gonna talk to the judge again, but it turns out you're okay.
Yeah, I like the absurdity of it. I like that, like, because like if in reality like somebody was stabbed, like they're not going to like gush blood. It's not just gonna like flow out like with force. It's not really quite how it works. But combined with like the right sound effects, it's just absurd. It's fun. It's just silly. So that's what I like.
Squish a mango into a mic and let's go home, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I don't have a mango on me, but that would have been a good idea for this episode. We should have thought about that ahead of time, huh?
Yeah.
Well.
I should have cracked like a hard-boiled egg on my knee.
Oh, does that sound like blood?
No, it just sounds like a spine compressing.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's like I'm being tortured on a rack. Next time we record, I gotta bring some fucking shit.
Yeah, we'll do that.
I think that'll go perfectly with the Mean Girls 2 episode more than this one.
100%. So
just like ripping into a cabbage.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's such a weird sound. What did you do when you broke your leg? What was that? That was celery, right?
Celery.
Yeah,
as the French say.
Celery. Do they say that? I don't think they say that.
It's very close to c'est la vie. So is life.
Yeah, well, so is life. This is Hellraiser. I'm kind of getting to the end of my pros here, and I do want to talk about some cons.
I'm impressed with you. Like,
yeah,
way to find some.
Yeah, yeah, whatever. So, Ash, I know you have cons. Yeah. And I know you want to go over the top with your cons.
Oh wait, no, I got one pro.
Oh, okay.
I like how like all the like there were some Cenobites that looked really dumb, but some of them had like cool punk aesthetic.
Yeah.
You could tell the guy was British because it was like very proto, goth.
Yeah.
Like the lady with like the coat hanger in her mouth.
Yeah, that's one of the dumber designs. It's like
I love it.
Oh, you
that
like
one
that?
Is great. I love that.
I think like the Cenobites are so hit or miss. Like Pinhead looks cool, and then like pretty much all of the other ones look like really dumb. There's
the one who looked like Geordie LaForge, but with like no skin.
Oh yeah. Okay. I know exactly which one you mean. And then there's the one that's just a big fat dude with sunglasses.
Yeah, which that was from Beetlejuice, I assume.
Yeah, or it was like leftover props or something.
Yeah, this is a sandworm.
It's so weird. Like, I don't know why they thought that was supposed to be scary. He looks hilarious.
Isn't that a character from Dragon Ball Z, but with sunglasses? Isn't there like a pink guy who's like got a cone head? Looks kind of like Patrick Star.
I don't know. I don't think so. I'm not totally
okay.
Sure.
Then he looked like Patrick Star.
Majin Buu has. Yeah. Do you know who I mean? He looks like kind of one of the Cenobites, doesn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Perfect. God damn, you hit the nail on the head with that one. Majin Buu's one of the villains in this. That's fucking perfect. Yeah. So there you go. That's pretty much what I got. Do you have anything else, or should we move on to cons? Because I want to hear you rip this movie apart. Because I know you're gonna have cons, and I don't really have any super big cons for this movie.
Oh my god, how? Okay. Listen.
I want you to clear one up for us, because there was a scene in a hallway with a caterpillar dude, and I really want to hear your take on it.
So, small child who's now in an insane asylum on what seem to be very weak charges.
Yeah. It's the 80s, so like people believed that could just happen. It was the Reagan administration. Insane asylums got defunded.
Oh yeah. Yeah. They're like, what are those again? I forgot. They closed last month and already I don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
She opens the puzzle box and like the gateway to the labyrinth opens, and she starts wandering down this hall, which I used to go to this haunted house up in my neighborhood. It was this person with like a guest house, and they would just like make a haunted house every year, and it was super tight. Kind of looked like the inside of that. It looked like it just styrofoam, whatever. And then like there's something at the end of the hall. And of course, it's going to be like a sickly Pepto-Bismol pink because that's apparently scary.
That's horrifying. Thank you. I'll have you know. It
reminds me of heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
And what's the best part about this Pepto-Bismol pink caterpillar creature that's running at her, or not running at her, but doing what at her down the hall?
So most of the time it looks really good, but right when it begins coming towards her, you can clearly see the wheeled mechanism underneath it. And like I wasn't even cracked. It wasn't even funny. I'm just like, oh, there are the wheels.
No,
yep.
There it is. No, you know. So that means that they weren't even hidden.
No,
well.
They weren't. You put a black tarp over that, or a black piece of cloth. You don't see it. But like you could clearly see the whole fucking and they did a couple cuts, and I think that they ended up covering it up later because you couldn't see it anymore. But right when it starts moving, you're like, it's on like the creepy fucking. It's like on Jigsaw's tricycle, you know.
Oh my god! Oh yeah. That's a thing. Yeah, that's good old fashioned '80s movies for you. '80s low budget horror movies. Yeah. Beautiful. I wouldn't want it any other way. I gotta be honest.
Yeah, I could want it another way, but I honestly, I wish there were more mistakes like that.
Yeah, because that would make it that would give it a charm that I think it might be lacking.
Yeah, I really do.
Yeah,
I'm wondering if they have it in the fucking IMDb. Oh yeah. So on IMDb they usually get like the goofs in the movie, and in there it's like when the engineer chases Christie, the trolley and crew pushing it are visible.
Oh my god, the crew too.
I didn't catch the crew.
Oh my god, I'm gonna look for it.
Like, that's honestly.
Engineer. See, there's like creative workarounds they could do with that too. Like, what if this creature like was part robot thing, part disgusting pink thing? Like, why didn't they just go all the way and
Instead,
like turn it into that so they could hide it, but it looks part of the world?
Now it's the Scorpion King, like.
Yeah. Now it's just a mistake, and that's unfortunate. See, it's interesting because I didn't notice that. And hearing about that now, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna find it, and it's probably so obvious.
It's real. It's a split. It's just a single shot, and they're cutting back and forth because she's not really being chased by it.
Yeah.
But it's really bad, and also the blood is like the wrong color in this entire movie.
That is an 80s thing. So
okay.
Yeah.
Is that the lighting, or is it?
It's a combination of a couple things. So probably it's partially the lighting, yes, but also movies in the 80s were shot on film, and film gets this colors don't pop like they do, and like on cameras that we have nowadays, because first of all, the cameras are just straight up better, but also films nowadays are color corrected, so the colors become more saturated, or they gather like a tone that goes across the whole film because it's digital, and you can go in and make those corrections in post. Back in the day, you had to make blood as bright and gross as possible because people would be watching this either like on a big screen, like on a projector, and like because it's film, it's a little washed out, so you want those colors to pop to really drive it home. But also people would be watching this later on CRT televisions, and CRT televisions have a tendency to be kind of blurry, so you really want those colors to like stick out. So like especially watching it on like I don't know what you watched it on, perhaps on your laptop screen, but even then, you know, you watch this on a laptop screen, which has far more pixel density than anything that existed back in 1987. And like, probably it's more clear. You're able to see these things more effectively. And you notice that these colors are just way outside the normal realm, or beyond what the directors probably intended for it to appear like. And that's just a symptom of the 80s. And so that's why, like, there's other movies, Dawn of the Dead in the 70s. I think it came out at the end of the 70s. There's another one. The blood is like orange in that movie. It's like so sickly. And the zombies in that movie are also like blue. So it's just like the grossest like opposition of colors. But it worked really well because
the Tide Pod style almost.
Yeah, it's a little over the top. It's gross, but it's like kind of part. That movie has charm. So this movie is kind of lacking comparatively, but yeah.
Yeah, okay, more issues I have with this movie. These fucking freaks would actually stay in this house. Like, let them settle in before you get to the gross out. As soon as there are maggots involved, I'm fucking out. I don't care if the house is free. I'm either paying someone else to clean it up, and they're doing it, and I'm staying away from the home.
Yeah.
It's like, come on.
Yeah,
like maggots?
If I found somebody, like the remnants of somebody squatting in a house that I was moving into, I'd be like, I'm not moving.
Oh, there's a heroin needle that's going to give me hepatitis in here.
Like, also, like, are we sure the person's not hiding in the walls or some creepy shit?
Yeah, I've seen The Boy.
Yeah, that or I don't know. I used to like read creepypasta on 4chan years ago, and like every creepypasta always ended up that somebody was like hiding in a hidden like chamber in their house or something like that. Like that's just creepier than a lot of stuff, and it's just like, nah, I'm not moving into that house. Like, fuck that, man. No, are we sure they're not here?
Like, give us some level of rationality for the characters before we see a breakdown of it. It has much better payoff.
Yeah.
Like, have them at least settle in and like find a room with fucking maggots, or find the room where he was staying, or something like that. You know,
yeah,
like,
and also Frank just like lived up in that room and like was making all this crazy noise and shit. Like, he's like banging around and stuff up there, and they're just like, "Huh, rats must be crazy today."
Yeah,
it's such like horror movie logic. It's so stupid.
I always love, there's that one episode of Community where they think one of them is a sociopath, and they're asking them to ask scary stories, and Abed's is like they stand back to back holding knives in the middle of the room.
Oh my goodness.
It's great. That's what they should have done in this movie.
Yeah.
Then also just like, we got the promise of the Cenobites, and they're paid off in the last, 10 minutes? Like, it just
so little. Yeah.
They're very cool. And I understand, like compared to the rest of the movie, granted, I didn't like this movie, but I understand that the makeup was a lot, but give me some of it. Like that sucked.
So,
like, I hate it when it's 17 Titans all over again.
Yeah.
I didn't get my 17 Titans. I didn't get my Pinhead. I got like 2 shots of Pinhead.
Yeah.
And he said like boring villain stuff.
Yeah. Like, that is a big thing. Like, the Cenobites are kind of really secondary characters in this movie, which sucks because they're so much more interesting than any of the main characters. You know?
Yeah.
Like, just so much more interesting.
The whole Frank and wife thing. Also, the fact that everyone was somehow attracted to her.
Yeah.
I didn't get it. The younger girl was very pretty, and I understand that it's like different looks for the 80s, but I was just like, really? Everyone's just like a hubba. Like, at her, it's probably pretty easy to pick up dudes. We're just idiots. Yeah, like dudes are fucking morons.
Yeah.
But like it felt like she would have to be a little more aggressive than that, and
especially to take them into like this creepy old house and into her creepy old attic.
Yeah, the house. If the house was less creepy, it would have been better, because they would have been like, "Oh, this is a pretty nice house."
Yeah, and then she would have led them down into like the basement or wherever Frank was like living.
Yeah, and they'd be like, "Wow, there were never maggots in here."
Yeah. They would have to say that too. That's so stupid. It's like so fitting for this movie. Wow, it doesn't look like you have any maggots in here.
I bet there were no blood and cum soaked sheets anywhere.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. So all of those things make total sense. I see exactly where you're coming from. I still like this movie. I don't care.
Okay.
Yeah. So coming up on the end of our episode here,
right.
Ash, I don't have 5 words yet. So I want to hear your 5 words, your review, your rating, your recommendation, all of the R's and 1 W, if you know what I'm saying here.
RRW.
Bam.
It's like wrestling. All right. I'm so sorry. 5 words. Suburban moms fear punk kids.
Excellent.
Because I feel like part of what was supposed to make the Cenobites scary was the fact that they were punk guys, and the guy's British. I'm pretty sure he's British, the director.
I think he is, yeah.
Yeah. And like they have a totally different scene than they do here. They're way more cool.
Yeah, pretty intense. Probably in the 80s, like especially, right?
Oh yeah. They're probably like stabbing like posers and stuff.
Yeah.
Probably was awesome. I was born in the wrong generation, guys.
Yeah. The only podcast that was born in the wrong generation.
That's a good fucking intro.
So give this a rating, give it a review, and because I got my 5 words already.
All right, I'm very glad to hear that you got your 5 words.
Yeah.
This was not a lot of movie in one movie. Again, gore stuff doesn't do it for me, even if it is hooks going into Play-Doh. I just genuinely felt like I was being cock-teased by what could have been a movie, but it wasn't a movie. And again, I'm just really bugged by the guy going to the Arabic market from fucking Indiana Jones and somehow ending up in like the suburbs. Also, typically like guys who squat and like do like sex crimes don't live in the suburbs or in like rural America. Okay, no, that's not true. People do sex crimes everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm just saying not the kind of sex crimes he was doing, if they were in fact crimes.
Yeah, well, what somebody does in the comfort of their own home, as long as it's not taking somebody else's liberties, is kind of their own business. But
no. Let's dox him. He lives right next to Selena Gomez.
Yeah, so,
this movie was awful. It gets a 1.
Oh my god, really?
I was so bored.
Okay, all right.
I
got it.
It was boring.
It's crazy. Like, this movie was like almost too much for some people when it came out. And nowadays it's just boring. It just doesn't stand the test of time for new audiences, I guess.
I'm not like other girls I ever ate.
Oh my
I listen
god.
to death metal.
I'm surprised you didn't like it then. This is the most death metal movie.
That's not true.
Nah, you're right. It's not.
No.
So moving on to me.
Moving on. Hey, Avery, what are your 5 words?
So
my idea.
My 5 words. Hellraiser has many stupid sequels. Because it has a lot of fucking stupid sequels. It's like every single one of the sequels following this. I haven't seen all of them, but from what I understand it's a precipitous drop. The second one I have seen, and it's bizarre and nonsensical. I've seen a little bit of the third one and gave up. So I'm just not even going to risk it with the rest of the series. It's just too many. It's like they wanted to over-serialize this. Probably the only reason is that they were likely cheap movies to make. So they were like, we're just going to churn these out and it has a recognizable name and we'll make money on your stupidity. Classic slasher movie model. So even though this wasn't really even a slasher, this movie was like kind of a slasher. Like it had slasher elements, but it
couldn't decide what it wanted to, what it wanted to
it wasn't
be in that way.
It was almost a body horror movie too. you know? And so like they wanted to go body horror, they wanted to go slasher, but they couldn't really decide. They wanted to go dark fantasy. They couldn't really stick with that either, or gave kind of half-assed attempts at that. Like you said, there wasn't enough Cenobites. From what I understand, movies later in the series remedy that. And it gets so dumb. Pinhead becomes a hero. It's really stupid because clearly
I feel like that's also Friday the 13th, though.
Yeah, totally. Jason becomes the main focus because nobody cares. Because like in a movie series where like especially with slashers like Friday the 13th, where the story is dependent on your main characters dying, it's very difficult, unsurprisingly, to create convincing main characters that aren't just the villain themselves. So a lot of them prolonged themselves unnaturally by giving undue focus to the killer. And that's what they did with this. Two very mixed results, from what I understand. Yeah, this movie has some exciting gore that I feel like would have been extremely effective in the 80s. Probably hasn't really lived up. Like you said, Ash, you said you were bored throughout this movie. In a movie that is like universally known for being somewhat shocking, you were bored, which is okay. I do like some of the dreamlike qualities. Like you said, it's very much like Labyrinth. It's just classic 80s supernatural weirdo dark fantasy horror. I think that's fun to me. The effects are goofy. You can see the roller skating pink thing in the hallway. That's just stupid. The characters suck.
It's called sex, Avery.
Yes, exactly.
Roller skating pink thing in the hallway.
God
Thank
damn
you.
Right. Hey yo. Nice. This movie gets a 6 out of 10 from me. I just think it's fun. I like the gore. I like the disgustingness. The characters suck. Pinhead's kind of cool. The Cenobites mostly look cool. Some of them look kind of stupid. There should have been more of them, and that's my rating. Bam.
Avery, quick question.
Yeah.
If we were to have a Freddy versus Jason movie with Pinhead versus X, who would that X be?
Pinhead versus... Well, he wrote a little song called X Gonna Give It To Ya. So just gonna say Pinhead versus, is that DMX? That's who it is, right?
Avery.
That's who it is, right?
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Come on.
I mean, a very shiny nose.
Come on.
So good. Yeah. That's my bid. Also, the Pinhead versus who's equally like goofy. I'm trying to think. Pinhead versus Leatherface. He doesn't really. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies are very weird. They tried to do the slasher thing and it didn't really work out. Yeah, so I'd say sure. Pinhead versus Leatherface. That's gonna be over real quick, but
or like Pinhead versus Jaws.
When they finally run out of ideas. You thought they were out of ideas. But no. Pinhead
maybe
versus
like
Jaws.
Maybe like the Ghost or Pennywise?
Nah, I don't know.
Oh, Pinhead versus Jigsaw.
Oh, that's a good one. They're both into like the torture porn thing. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, hell yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah, okay. Boom. We did it.
Yeah. Pinhead versus Jigsaw. That movie sounds like shit.
Oh, honestly, I won't say it. You're gonna get mad at me.
Say it. Let's hear it.
I thought this was worse than Saw.
Oh man, really?
Yeah.
Saw is just like kind of like the same idea, just like a little more modern.
It's just exactly.
Yeah, a little more modern and a little more like it sticks to the form it sets. You know, Saw is just like all torture porn from beginning to end. This has like dark fantasy weirdo shit thrown in there. So I get that. Yeah.
But like thrown.
Yeah.
At a dartboard randomly.
Yeah.
Just a Jackson Pollock of dark fantasy.
Yeah. Exactly. Just like totally out of nowhere. Puzzle boxes. So there's literally a MacGuffin device in this.
Oh yeah.
Isn't that weird? Like that's not usual for a horror film. No, I think it's weird for a horror film, isn't it?
It's pretty. I mean, I'm just saying it's pretty normal for films.
Yeah, but that's like something you see in an adventure film or a fantasy film. It's weird that.
Well, he did get it, like I said, at the market from Indiana Jones.
Oh my God! Perfect. Yeah. So
it would have been really great if like Pinhead was like waving his needles around like the sword, and then just Indiana Jones shoots him.
It's interesting. In the sequels, you find out who Pinhead really was, and he was like this like World War II German Nazi captain or something. He was a real person. It totally like undermines all of it. He's like he wasn't just like an immortal demon that's existed since the beginning of time, which is so much better. But
I mean, you could kind of tell though with the amount of leather he wears.
That's true. That's true.
And also, like, all of his grandchildren are like white, blonde people who live in like Argentina, whose last names are Schmidt. You ever see those videos where people are like talking about living in like Latin American countries, but their names are like Herr Klein, and they're like blonde, and we're like,
what?
Guys, yeah, because like
never heard of that.
Oh, because like the Nazis all flee to like South America. And so, like, randomly, you'll, like, get interviews like, yeah, I'm Argentinian. And they're, like, blonde and blue-eyed, and they stare in the camera, and they're like, my name is Angela Schmidt.
Wow, go figure.
And then, all of my people run away like Scooby-Doo characters.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Go figure. Huh, well, interesting. I didn't know about that. I didn't know, like, I knew that there were a lot of German people immigrated to the United States, but I think that happened before World War II.
Yeah, it was like post World War One.
Yeah,
it was a big one.
So
because the German economy was fucked.
Yeah, that's the one where they experienced like super hyper inflation, where money was just like meaningless. like commodities just became worth more than money.
Yeah.
So
when you were going with a wheelbarrow to get bread.
Yeah, like a wheelbarrow filled with money. Like there's literally a picture of a guy with a wheelbarrow filled with money or something.
Yeah, I think his name is Scrooge McDuck,
yes.
But
look how rich I am.
Yeah, what happened to Scrooge McDuck? Where's the live action Scrooge McDuck?
Oh, don't give him too many ideas, man. That's coming next.
I'm fucking suing whoever makes that movie.
I'm gonna sue you. There you go.
Maybe that's how I make my fortune.
There you go.
We just have to keep pitching bad movies, and then if one of them sticks,
be like, we thought of that. But also, the thing is that we probably wouldn't win that. You know, like
but we'd make them settle out of court, and then that's like $25,000 that we get.
Be like, we're never letting up, bitch. That's what you gotta say.
I'll just be like, do you want to find out how Jewish my lawyers are? I mean, family is. Too many Jewish jokes this episode.
Yeah, it's
too self-deprecating. Yeah, I'm getting weird with it, but no, because it's funny because all my lawyer family members are from my Christian side.
Oh, interesting. What a coincidence, Paul. It's almost like stereotypes are unfair.
Yeah, they're accountants. Some of them. One of them's an engineer.
Oh, cool.
I have a very small family.
Yeah. All right. Well, at risk of getting even more anti-Semitic. Let's
that's our tagline, right?
The only podcast that's constantly at risk of getting more anti-Semitic.
Oh no, that's so bad.
Yeah, that is really bad. Yeah, I do too. I'm sorry I said that.
It's okay.
So
I pitched it.
So wrapping this episode up, you should find us everywhere on the internet if you haven't already. Where are we located, Ash?
We're on Instagram, For The Story Podcast. We're on Facebook, For The Story. You can email us at forthestory@gmail.com. You can find us on Podbean, Stitcher, Apple iTunes, which I think they're getting rid of it. I don't know. And yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, that sounds like about it. Well, we are so glad that you guys stuck around to the very end of the episode if you're still listening. And yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for listening to us talk about a gross, stupid movie. We love you all so much, and we'll see you next week for what? Mean Girls 2?
Mean Girls 2.
Oh my
Speaking
god.
Of gross movies.
Yeah. Oh my god. Well, I'm excited. I know Ash is, and we will talk to you next week. We love you so much. Goodbye.
Dream Warriors.